Most founders think that they are afraid of failure. They are not. They're afraid of being seen failing. Those are completely different problems, and only one of them is actually destroying you. I've had several seven-figure public failures, and in this video, I'm giving you the exact framework that got me out. Here's what nobody tells you about public business failure. Your brain doesn't process it as a setback. It processes it like a threat to your life, and that's not metaphorical. That's literal neuroscience. Public shame activates the same threat response as physical danger. So when your numbers drop, your team notices, your partners go quiet, your nervous system doesn't say, let's problem solve. It says, you are in danger. And from that moment, something shifts. Failure stops being a situation you're in and starts becoming who you are. And that's the trap. And most founders walk straight into it without seeing it coming. There are two stages to how this collapse actually happens. And almost nobody recognizes stage one until they're already in stage two. Stage one is internal. Your brain turns on you before anyone else does. You fooled everyone. You got lucky before. This is the real you. You're not built for this. But here's where it gets worse. If the struggle drags on, weeks, months, sometimes years, stage two kicks in. The outside world joins in. And external criticism doesn't come in with nuance. It comes in as labels, ridicule, public narrative. And your brain, already compromised, starts treating that noise as consensus, as truth. You stop thinking, I'm going through something hard, and you start thinking, everyone can see I'm a fraud. And here's the part that should genuinely concern you. That identity damage doesn't stay in the business. It spreads into your health, your relationships, your ability to think clearly under pressure. Recovery from full identity collapse can take years, unless you interrupt it early. With the following three-step framework. Step one is learning to see criticism for exactly what it is, not what it feels like. Being a critic is the lowest cost role in any situation. It requires no risk, no responsibility, no skin in the game. Critics don't make payroll. They don't sign personal guarantees. They don't lie awake at 2 a.m. like you do, because nothing is on the line for them. Founders who have actually taken real risk, who have been where you are, they don't ridicule, they recognize. Here's what your brain gets wrong. It confuses volume with consensus. Loud negativity feels like majority opinion. It isn't. Support is quiet, but critics are loud. The loudest voices get amplified, but that doesn't make them right. The moment you genuinely internalize that, not just intellectually accept it, but feel it, the noise loses half its power immediately. Step two is understand it's short-lived. Here's a quick question for you. What was the biggest news story 2 weeks ago? Not the category, the specific story, the one that dominated your feed. You probably can't remember it. Not because it wasn't real, but because attention moves. Public judgment is brutal, but it has a half-life. People are consumed by their own lives, their own problems, their own next crisis. Nobody stays focused on your future. They have their own problems. What isn't short-lived, and this is critical, is what your brain does with public judgment afterward. The damage doesn't come from the event, it comes from the repetition. Every time your brain replays the moment, the headline, the comment, it reopens the wound. So here's what I've learned to do and what I tell any founder facing this. Before anticipating public pressure, write it down. Not how you feel, but what actually happened, the timeline, the decisions, the options that were and weren't available. Do it while you're still clear-headed. This does two things. It stops emotion from rewriting history, and it gives you a bird's eye view that confirms, usually, that you did what you could with what you had. That's not consolation. That's self-confidence grounded in reality. Second, don't read the coverage. Not because you're running from it, but because most of it is written by people who don't have access to the full picture. And engaging with it doesn't correct it, it just fuels it. And if something genuinely important is said, something that needs your response, someone close to you will bring it to you. That's your filter. You don't need to monitor the noise to catch the signal. Step 3 in this framework is reorder your priorities. This is the step most founders reject, not because they disagree with it, but because it feels irresponsible given the pressure they're under. Your business is not your top priority right now. Your health is, your family is. I know how that sounds when the pressure is real, but here's what's happening. Business problems feel urgent. They create immediate, visible consequences. So your brain elevates them above everything else, above sleep, recovery, above people closest to you. So you push harder, you skip training, you pull all-nighters, and you call it discipline. But here's what you're actually doing. You're degrading the one asset every decision runs through. It's you. Bad sleep, chronic stress, degrading fitness, fractured relationships. And the people closest to you, they choose your presence over your success any day of the week. But that's the first thing that usually goes. This isn't discipline. This is how founders collapse without seeing it coming. The business needs you clear, not just committed. Reordering your priorities isn't giving up on the business. It's the only thing that gives it a real chance. Public failure feels personal because your brain is designed to make it feel that way. But with this framework, your decisions get better, your energy returns, and the spiral stops. If you want to understand exactly how pressure is distorting your thinking right now, I built an assessment for this. It only takes a few minutes, it's free, and you'll find the link below.